Hey guys, it's Elena from Financial Demix, where I give you the tools and tricks to manage your money, increase your savings and your income, and decrease your debt. In this video, I want to share with you the 10 things I gave up in order to pay off debt. I have paid off over $60,000 in debt, and one of the ways I was able to do so was by cutting out some of the things I spent money on. The first thing that I cut out was eating out for lunch every day. I would eat out every day for lunch. The only time that I would actually bring my lunch to work was if I made something really good the day before, or I went out to eat the night before and I brought home leftovers. When I was trying to figure out how I could pay off my debt, I ended up tracking my spending from the previous month. And I realized that I was spending a lot of money on eating out every single day of the work week. When I totaled how much I was spending eating out every week and totaled it for the month, whew, that was a bill, okay? So the first thing I did was cut out eating out every day of the work week. Now I only allow myself to eat out one time per week, typically a Friday. And sometimes that doesn't even happen because now I actually enjoy what I cook. And so I actually will make my lunch for the week. But you know, life happens, so I typically give myself grace for one day. Have you ever calculated how much you spend for lunch each week? Well, go ahead and add that up. Is that money that you could be using for something else? And remember, I didn't say completely stop buying lunch, but you can reduce it to help you get closer to your money goals. The second thing that I cut out was lip gloss. I used to love buying lip gloss. Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works, the beauty supply store, I don't care. I'm picking up the lip gloss. But the problem was anytime I would walk into like Victoria's Secret or Bath and Body Works, you know, they would have those 3 for whatever deals. I can't even remember how much it used to cost. But I would only really like one of the lip glosses that I picked out each time I would do that. And truthfully, I ended up having this big collection of lip glosses that I didn't like because either they didn't keep their shine, the color didn't look good on me, or I just didn't like the way it made my lips feel. So I realized that I had this collection of lip glosses that I was not using, and I only really used like a few lip glosses. I may have had like 3 to 5 lip glosses that I would consistently use. So I stopped buying lip glosses. Now I only buy lip glosses that I know that I actually like. It's really rare for me to try a new lip gloss, and normally that's only happening if somebody actually buys me lip gloss or gifts me lip gloss. But you won't see me just buying lip gloss randomly because that adds up. And even though you'll think, oh, lip glosses don't cost that much, well, it is a cost when you're buying it and you're not using it. It adds up. I couldn't even tell you how many lip glosses I had in my arsenal. It was ridiculous. So I cut out buying lip glosses. And speaking of Bath and Body Works, I had to cut out buying body sprays. I was buying so many body sprays because you know those had the 3 for whatever deals also. And yes, I loved them. And actually I was using the ones that I was buying, but I had a lot to the point where like others were getting neglected because you're wearing like your favorite scent. So you find a new scent and then it starts smelling like alcohol. You know what I mean? Or hopefully you don't know what I mean. So I stopped buying body sprays, finished up all of my body sprays, except for the ones that smell like alcohol. And now the body sprays that I actually have been gifted to me, you know, Christmas, birthdays, things like that. And so I just stick with certain scents and I don't buy body sprays any longer. The third thing that I gave up was recreational shopping. Yes, recreationally. I was shopping for stuff I did not need. I would go shopping just because I was bored. I would go to Target, I would go to the mall because I didn't have anything else to do sometimes, which means I was ending up picking up stuff that I didn't necessarily need, and I was really duplicating my closet. I mean, how many black pairs of pumps do you really need? Don't answer that. I had to learn how to put my blinders on and just shop for the items that I really needed and only go to the store when I actually needed something, not just because I didn't have anything else to do. The next thing I gave up was getting my nails done. Ever since I got my first job in high school, I would keep my nails done. Every 2 weeks, fresh filling, everything. And I kept that up all the way until I started my debt payoff journey. But then what I really realized was that I didn't really like going to the nail shop. I used to hate going to the nail shop. I just really liked the results. And even if I went to get like a manicure or just did my own nails, I don't really like color on my nails. No color. So it just really didn't make sense for me to go continually getting manicures. And actually, I learned a long time ago, before I even started getting my nails done, how to do my own nails and how to do my own pedicures. And I actually do them better than they do at the nail shop. So for the most part, I do my own manicures, and then I do my own pedicures. Typically, if I go and get a pedicure, it's normally once a year, right before the summer season. I can really upkeep myself, and like I said, I do it better than them. Now granted, I cannot do designs on toes, but that's really not my thing anyway. I'm really just a summer white girl, like a good white on my toes in the summer. And so it just doesn't make sense for me to do it. So that was something that I gave up. This is one thing I kind of pushed back, not necessarily gave up at the time, but that was the frequency in which I got my hair done. At the time that I was starting my debt payoff journey, I was actually transitioning back to being natural. And so I was going to get my hair done every 2 weeks. So what I started doing was push it back to every 3 weeks. So then I was only typically paying for my hair like once a month. Sometimes I would be at the twice, but that would carry on where every other month I was only paying to get my hair done once a month. And then once I fully transitioned, I was only getting my hair done if I was getting like braids or, something different that I couldn't do myself. But the reality was I always knew how to maintain my hair. I just got in the habit of letting somebody else do it because it was a lot of work, of course, and I didn't want to do it. And so it just didn't make sense for me to continually paying someone once I fully transitioned to do my hair. I started doing it myself, and by doing that, I was able to take that money and defer it towards paying off my debt. Now, just to be clear so everybody knows, I do have a hair line in my budget for products because naturals, we tend to buy a lot of products. So I do have a small budget for hair products, but I don't go get my hair professionally done unless it's something that I just can't do or something really time consuming that I don't want to do. Another thing I gave up was buying paper products. I used to buy paper products all the time. I'm talking about plates, bowls, utensils, cups, and it's not like I didn't have all of those things in my cabinet. I would just buy it because it was easier. I wouldn't have to worry about washing it. I wouldn't have to worry about loading the dishwasher, which was another sad reason why I shouldn't have been buying them, because I did have a dishwasher, but I just would buy them anyway. And so that's one of the things that I cut out. And actually now we only will buy paper products if we are having company over, like a lot of people over, and we know it's going to be like a lot of dishes and, just to save on the time it's going to take to clean up later. But I was buying that stuff for no reason whatsoever. No gas, no nothing, just straight lazy. So I had to cut that out. Another thing that I cut out was magazine subscriptions. I had two of my favorite magazine subscriptions, which is Essence and Black Enterprise. And granted, magazine subscriptions do not cost a lot of money, but I really wasn't reading them like I should. Like sometimes I would read them, sometimes I wouldn't, because I was just way too busy. So it was really becoming a waste. If I really wanted to read them, like the circle of friends that I had, I could always get my hands on a copy. So that's what I did. I did not renew them when it was time to renew during my debt payoff journey. And I took the money that I would pay to renew them and put that on my debt. And then anytime I wanted to see a particular issue, then I would reach out to one of my friends and go to their house and read it. Or if it was something, you know, special, then I would just go buy it because it was just one copy. I didn't necessarily need to buy every single issue that was released. Another thing that I gave up on my debt payoff journey was spending money on home decor. I was actually in the process of decorating my house. I had been decorating it for a little while at that point. And I did have the basics, I just wasn't done. It wasn't the way that I would have liked it to look. But you could come to my house and not sit on the floor. I had a sofa, I had a TV, I had some side tables and things like that. But there were some chairs that I wanted to get for my living room. And those chairs were so fabulous, but they were $400 each. That was something I was trying to, you know, save money for or find a cheaper version of it. But even when I did see them go on sale, they only went on sale for like $100 off. And I needed 4 chairs. 4. So 4 times 4 or 400 times 4 is $1,200. And we're not adding in the tax yet. So I decided that I was going to give up on that hope of decorating that section of my living room because I just had a really big living room at the time. And I went ahead and diverted the money I was trying to spend on decor towards my debt. So even for you, you could look at what are you spending money on that you don't really need, is just a want at the time, and weigh which one do you want more. At the time, I wanted to be out of debt more than having my living room look a certain way. And so I picked paying off my debt. I also gave up trips. So I used to always be somewhere. I don't care what was going on. If you would have asked me to go somewhere, I was there, okay? And so I gave up going on a lot of trips during that time. What I actually did was I only went on trips where maybe like my parents were going so I could ride with them. And that's normally to visit family. But to actually go on a trip with my friends, I actually cut those things out while I was trying to pay off the bulk of my debt. And so I missed out on a couple of things, but that was okay because for me, it was more important for me to get into a position where I felt like I could breathe, where I felt like I was not being held back, because that was the main reason why I started my debt payoff journey, was because I felt as if my debt was holding me back from doing some things that I really wanted to achieve in life. And so I didn't go on vacation. In the comments below, let me know the one thing that you're willing to give up to pay off debt. Or if you're already on your debt payoff journey or have already paid off debt, let me know the one thing you did give up in order to pay off your debt. If this video was helpful for you, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to share this with your friends. And if you take a screenshot of this video and share it on Instagram, make sure to tag me at Financial Demics, and I will reshare your video and shout you out for sharing the video. I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye.